Emmanuel. It was the name that came first as the Lord's promise, and then centuries later as his explanation, when a baby like no other was born in Bethlehem. That baby really was what the name means. Emmanuel, God with us.
And now, 2,000 years later, he is still with us, which changes everything, and changes it so profoundly that it takes a lifetime just to begin to discover all the hope and joy and goodness that comes with his presence.
Several times this year we got to step out of our ordinary places, which awakened us all the more to the impact of his presence. This happened on a trip to be with our sister church in Cairo, Egypt, and in a different way when we had a reunion with family and friends in Texas.
A week with our cousins in the wilds of the North Woods gave us another take on his presence, as did a week this fall hiking in the Appalachian Mountains.
We experienced his presence in a very different way in the hospital, once in the spring and again in the fall, when Dad fell and broke his hips. These were hard times for Dad and intense times for us, but we discovered that God was with us even there.
With our 3 daughters, their husbands, and 8 grandkids all within 2 hours of us, we have lots of family gatherings. These times bring so many simple joys. Then there is the huge added joy of seeing the impact of the Lord's presence in their lives too.
And then, right down the street is St. Giles Church, where we have discovered God's presence for more than a dozen years now.
Through worship and fellowship and service with these saints, we get to enter even more of his goodness and grow in our capacity to recognize his presence. And finally, there's this space, our den. Most of our days are quite ordinary, and we spend a lot of that ordinary time right here. We catch up with each other on the day's events.
We have morning prayer here, visit with family and friends, host a small group Bible study here, watch ball games, read and nap, all in this space.
We all have such living spaces for our ordinary days, but here's what we're celebrating this week. That the very one born in Bethlehem is still with us, Emmanuel, God with us in these very ordinary places, which means they're not so ordinary after all.
In this coming new year, may you grow in the goodness of Emmanuel, God with you.